Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more DC Dual Force. It's been a good weekend just working on some of these new decks. Hope you guys are enjoying the video where we're just trying some new stuff, seeing if it works. And today we're kind of returning to, I wouldn't say an old favorite, but a sort of deck archetype that I've always felt was like somewhat powerful. Maybe was struggling with some more of the control decks, and I still think that that's a little bit of a rougher matchup. But playing the Green Lantern comic, which was a ton of fun, I really wanted to give Hal another try. And I just feel like Aquaman and Batman are those leaders you can pair with pretty much everyone, and they sort of fit really, really well. And although I've tried Wonder Woman with Green Lantern, that was one of my earlier videos I'd put on the channel, so feel free to go back if you're interested. I just feel like Aquaman has really been that favorite might hero because of how versatile he is, the fact that he can attack and make a recruit. You can build synergies off of that, and it really just allows for mid-range decks, I think, to have more staying power in the late game. And also be able to fight back against aggro, because, you know, decks like Flash Doomsday are pretty scary in terms of how much pressure they can apply. So hope you guys are all having fun with the new Halloween set. But today we're taking a little bit of a turn into what I'm calling New Lantern. And always, you know, if you like the videos, please feel free to like and subscribe and comment, all that stuff. It really helps out a lot. I'm happy to announce that we will have our some streams coming up. We've got some drops coming up. I'm not sure exactly when I'm posting this video, but if you happen to see it before, I'm going to be streaming on October 18th because we got some drops then. And then I think it's by October 30th, as long as you're platinum or higher. And, obviously we hit World Force first pretty quickly because I was really trying to see how fast I could do it. And thankfully it worked out. We'll have even more stuff, and I think it's all like Green Lantern centric, which is super cool for the comic. I'm very excited. I know a lot of people have a lot of love for the Lanterns. So without further ado, why don't we talk about what my version of New Lantern is looking like. And I will say right off the bat, I'm still really figuring out the top end of this deck. One of the ultimates that I'm missing is Highfather. For those of you who don't know this card, it's just a big boy. He's a big father. Being a 12/12 with Aura just means that not only do you have to deal with a massive, massive recruit with a huge body, you're also just dealing with the fact that it's got Aura, right? So, yes, if you're playing into Batman, Batman can always take off Aura pretty easily, but for pretty much every other leader combination, it gets a little bit harder. This is probably a card I would be playing if I had it. My partner actually has this, but doesn't have Wonder Woman, so we're kind of swapping those in both of the lists. I've always loved Wonder Woman. I do think she's one of the better late game might recruits. But I think Highfather is really in a good spot for the meta, just because it has Aura, right? You can maybe contend with Ladama a little bit more. So I think he could be in a really good spot for this deck. Just like I'm not sure if I should be running Booster Gold. I'll go through the whole list, but just while I'm thinking about it, I think you could try and run Hellblaze. I tried it a little bit last night. I didn't like it so much. I felt like I just needed more recruits in the late game. And I think that Booster Gold allows you to kind of curve out later when maybe your board has been wiped or you're fighting for board position. So, take especially the top end of this list with a grain of salt, because I think it just depends on what the meta is throwing at you. And I would say anything that's going to help you in the control matchup, that's probably where you want to tune the deck. But I feel pretty good about the rest. And I'll say, just throw this in there too. Part of the reason I wanted to try this deck was because of a fitting mentor and Somar Lee, the new Green Lantern. And I just was curious to try them out. These are two cards that have come into recent comics that I don't think anyone's really been talking about. I mean, I think some folks have been trying out Mentor, but part of the reason I like this combination, as you'll see, is that we're only running Steve Trevor and Crypto as bronze might recruits, and obviously a lot of the Lanterns are bronze recruits, right? Chaselon, Chip, and I'm only running one. I'll kind of explain why. Jessica Cruz, Somar Lee, and Simon. Where are you, Simon? You're somewhere down here. There you are. And so you can just yoink a Green Lantern, put a shield on it. So whether you're getting Simon as a 4/5, Jessica's a 5/4, and Somar Lee, you know, although is a 3/1 body, but makes a 5/5 elephant. If you haven't seen this card yet, it's like a mini Kyle. For those of you who know that Lantern, you put a shield on it, so it's less likely to die. Right, when you're obviously it still dies to Deimos, you know, the -1 sort of stuff, but I just was kind of curious to see if Mentor is good, if Somarley is good. I'm honestly still figuring it out, but I will say I definitely was more positive over the course of many games I played last night. Played against some familiar faces, which was a lot of fun, just testing things out. So again, I think the numbers can be tweaked. I think things can be moved around, but I tweaked this list quite a bit over the last, I guess, like day and a half. And just find that it's kind of like a nice flavor. It's like a different idea of an Aquaman deck. And, you know, Hal Jordan has kind of been on the back burner, I think, for a lot of folks for a while. But I think he still does have the potential, especially with this list, to really accelerate your gameplay in a pretty crazy tempo way. So, Fitting Mentor. We're running this card. We wanted to try it. And honestly, I think it's excellent with Green Lanterns. So that's something that I'm trying, and I would encourage you to give it a shot. Ring chooses. I've loved this in most energy-based decks anyway, because a lot of the Lanterns are pretty solid, and you're giving them +2/+2. So even in a pinch against something like Doomsday Flash, you can get the free recruit that's a 1/2 Green Lantern for free and make it a 3/4. Just put a free body out, right? But obviously you can get Hal Jordan with this at golds, you can get John Stewart, you can get Kilowog, and you don't even really have to pay for their bronze cost if you can't afford it, because they're already getting +2/+2 on their pretty big bodies. Chaselon, nothing has changed with this card. This thing, it feels like you're cheating when you play it and your opponent can't answer it. Kind of like how it feels when Batman's cheating when he just has an Alfred on the field the whole game. Or even a Skeets. And Skeets is someone I'm thinking about for this deck too. I just couldn't quite find the sort of room for him. So Chaselon just allows you to really, really go off. Now Chip, something to note, I had said in a previous video that this got a secret buff because it says +2/+1. That's not true. It's only giving +1/+1. So it comes into play still as a 3/4 aura. I still like it as a 1/of. You know, there are lines where you really do want to put aura on maybe that like big last lantern in your hand, and it's like okay as just a bronze recruit. So we kept it in there, and I still think that that's like okay, but this is a slot that I'm willing to kind of mess around with. No brainers with Steve Trevor and Favor of the Gods. Obviously we need some card advantage. Favor of the Gods can help with that a bit. Trevor, for having 2 leaders that need 3 charges, incredibly important. And I tried 2 Green Lantern Power Battery, and honestly, this is a card that I was not a huge fan of, but what it allows you to do, baseline, kind of at the floor, is you just get to play a Lantern on turn 1 that's upgraded. So you get to play your 4/5 Simon Baz, your 5/4 Jessica Cruz, even potentially Somar Lee if you want to. And I actually think 1 is probably right. 2 I think is a little too much. It's a little too do nothing. But this is essentially a Chaselon for a turn for one of your Lanterns, and I honestly think it's worth the slot so far. Jessica, just obviously a big body to put out there. The 4 health helps quite a lot. Obviously put a shield on it, it's great. Somerley, so far I've felt this card is fine. Kyle, I think it sometimes could be stronger than this card, other times not so much. Honestly, just still playing a 3/1 recruit for bronze is like fine. And it's not hard with a list like this, especially running Aquaman, where you can just fill up the board so you can put your Somarley in the back and then have your elephant out in front. And a 5/5, pretty early on into the game is pretty beefy. So I wouldn't say that the card is making Lanterns come back, but I will say that it's a pretty nice addition to Lanterns overall. Crypto, obviously excellent with some fragile cards. Simon, one of your really great early bronze recruits. I love the foil one that glows. It's so sick. Classic, kind of silver package for might. We're running steel. We're running Queen Hippolyta. We're running Lightning Arc just as probably our prime kind of removal that can also turn into burn. Lobo, I'm giving a shot. Again, there have been some reports that he's not working, but I haven't encountered that yet, so maybe there's some weird interaction. Obviously, this could change into a few different Silver Might recruits. I'm just thinking, obviously a 5/5 or higher for Yara, which is obviously later down the line in the list, and the potential of getting some card advantage too, which is really important. Kilowog still doing a great job of buffing all the lanterns. John Stewart changed from a 5/4 into a 4/5, and I like that change. I would say it's a buff. It depends on what deck you're running him in, but I think that health over the power up front is just going to be pretty solid either way. And then Mara just does such an excellent job in this kind of deck because, again, you're generating 5 power recruits off of Aquaman, half the time. And then you've got these lanterns that are pretty easy, whether they're buffed from some of the early game card draw that buffs their cards. It's really easy for Mara to kind of run away with the game. And then we've got our top end package. So we've got Wonder Woman, just excellent aura, buffs what you already have on the battlefield. Dual Force is like so good in a deck that has 3 charge leaders. So I just really wanted to run that. Superman, pretty much no-brainer. Booster Gold, like I said, run it with the caution that this may not be the correct formulation. Maybe we want Shazam potentially for some, more sturdy recruits. But I've had some lines where Booster Gold really allowed me to kind of go off in a way that I would not have by just being a 5/5 body that generates a resource and really being able to turbo kind of power out Yara, in the late game if I need to. But it's really easy to play a Yara for free in this kind of build, as you might see. So that is the deck. Like I said, I've done some refining. I wouldn't say that it's a final construction, but I've been pretty happy to play it on the ladder. So let's at least get 1 or 2 games in here just to kind of show what we're working with. I've just had a lot of fun just trying out some new decks, and I'll probably return to some old favorites pretty soon, and be trying to climb up the leaderboard and things like that, especially when I'm streaming. Definitely want to show a variety of decks, so it's been really fun to just kind of go back to some old favorites and create some new stuff. All right, classic matchup. So let's see if we can hold it together in its Flash Doomsday. Okay, Mara, I'm almost always tempted to keep Yara as well, but because it's so aggressive, I think I will keep Mara because it really does buy us a lot. Okay, nice. Got some bronze recruits. Happy to see that. Oh, good old Man-Bat. Yeah, we're going to take some damage here. Nothing else. That's good. Okay, we got Kyle off of Hal, and then we drew John Stewart. So I think it's a pretty clear Steve Trevor here to maybe block for Aquaman. The question is, do I want to just run out Hal Jordan next turn? So I'd have triple bronze. Doesn't really do much for me. I'd probably rather have that a little later for a silver bronze turn, because then I can go Simon and maybe something else. But Kyle might come in handy here. If they don't have an answer to it, it might gum up the board enough to buy us some time. We'll see. Oof, Iris West. Okay. Well, if we can't kill her, it's going to be pretty rough, because she does quite a lot. Yep, Man-Bat, attack again. So, yeah, alright, well, just gonna have to, ooh, okay, well, honestly, probably one of the better draws we could have had. So this is 6, 7. As much as I want to protect the Seahorse, I think that would be too greedy, so just gonna put Simon in front of Aquaman here, and they'll probably just pick off our recruits, would be my guess here. We'll see. We've got a decent next turn. If we could draw a bronze action or recruit, that would be ideal. Yep. Oh, man. Okay, well, they kind of get to have it all here. This It's going to be pretty tough to deal with. Going down to 4 here. We're going to be able to take out Iris West unless they have a free card to block for it, so obviously that's pretty ideal. Okay, Superman, if we can get there, will be good. Mara would be good next turn. And Kilowog is pretty beefy, so I think it's just going to be... We'll activate because we do need to kill this. Unfortunately, we lose out on a resource, but we can play Kilowog here. And then next turn, we can probably just go Mara into John Stewart. Because the other option is we just play John Stewart, kill Iris, but I kind of want the ability to do that next turn. So I think I'm going to do this. And then we'll lose out on the bronze resource, but definitely can't let Iris continue to live. We've gotten so much value out of it already. But we've got a beefy Kilowog. Obviously, their burn just goes right through. It doesn't matter that we have a blocker, but we'll at least attempt to make some headway here. Pena, okay. I don't think I've seen people running Pedro. That's interesting. All right, well, can't afford to take 6. I don't love them drawing 2 cards, but I think we just got to let them have it. Have a shot at maybe seeing if Aquaman can live, but pretty unlikely. And I think now we definitely need to make some headway. So I think what I'm going to do is just go Mirror in the back. Oh, I guess I could have had 5 there. Oh, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Play John Stewart. We can't activate him, but we get a wave. And I think here, just want to try and damage Kilowog as much, or Kilowog, Doomsday, just because it's going to be hard for Flash to punch our recruits at some point anyway. But Aquaman's dead on board because they can punch through. So that was a mistake. I should not have. I should have made the wave to kill the recruit instead, because then this would have 11 health, and then they'd have to attack and do that. Okay, doesn't matter. But definitely want to play as well as we possibly can. Well, not liking our chances here. Okay, that's good. That's definitely good. So, what? You Doomsday attack John and just hit me for 4. They don't really have great attacks here. And they have no board. So, I mean, I think they have to Doomsday to trade on something. Flash doesn't do anything here, but yeah. Probably going at John. Just remove the blocker. Oh, okay. Actually, that's probably the better one. Take less damage, get her off the board. That's definitely correct. And we've got the Superman, so I think we've got a real shot here. Do I want to play Lobo or whatever other favor, and then I'll probably just... Yeah, we'll just do this anyway. Yeah, let's just play Lobo. Just have as much beef as possible. And then we can have Lobo maybe kill this and actually get the card draw. But I think we're beefy enough that it's going to be pretty hard for them to punch through this. I wonder if they should have saved Bazooka. Because they had lethal on my Aquaman. And then they could have gotten the reset and then played maybe a different recruit instead of the Bazooka. Okay, well that's 10. Yep. Where's the other 5 going? Okay. What else we got? Hellblaze, Lightning Arc. I don't think any of it is enough because we have leader activation next turn too. And I don't imagine they have a way to deal with... Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. So... Yeah, we'll be happy to activate here. I'm just going to trade the... Or, I don't really have a great recruit to go in front, do I? Yeah, I mean, this is more than lethal. I don't even have to think about this. uh, Here I am trying to min-max when we're massively ahead. Should not be doing that. Should just end the game. All right. Well, not bad, I think, because that was quick. We can hop into another one. Yeah, I mean, I do think that matchup's pretty decent for us. Just because of how beefy the recruits get. And they sort of have to commit to the burn plan. I think Trick or Treat's a cool addition to the deck. Pager Pena is interesting. Might be worth trying, but yeah, I think that it's pretty hard for them to deal with the like big beefy lanterns and might recruits. Obviously, if I have Superman for the gold turn, it's almost always the best way to completely turn the tide of that matchup. So, a little bit of luck on that one. So, we definitely made, like, I think at least that one mistake with Kilowog, but our opponent kind of played in a way that allowed us to still be able to push quite a lot of damage. But I guess they also were really worried about Mara, so maybe they didn't really have a way to deal with that aside from attacking it with Doomsday. Okay, definitely want to have some early pressure. I do like keeping Yara sometimes, but I think I'll just ship it all back. Okay, try and draw something a little bit better here. Okay, there's Hal. I mean, we could start out with Somar Lay, but I feel like that's probably not the way. I mean, it's not bad to pressure. I just imagine it will die. But then from here on out, we don't really have a great use for it. You know what? I think let's just go for it. Put her in back. Nice. Got the elephant to spawn in front. Such a cool art. I love this. But obviously, if they have 1 damage anything, it's going to kill it. But if they don't, got quite a bit of pressure. So. Okay, Bluebird. Cross your fingers, everybody. What do you got? What do you got? Show me the tear gas. Show me the bandage. Okay, so it's probably bandage. Probably saved it. Huh. Well, okay. All right, let's try and get another game, shall we? It's unfortunate because if you concede that early, you still don't get the gold. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think you do. Okay, well, maybe if your opponent's running a slower deck and you just go somewhere late turn 1, maybe they might concede. I think that was a little premature. But to be fair to them and to the cards, like if you don't answer it, it is going to be a problem. It's a lot of early pressure. So, okay, we'd love to see Chaselon and Fitting Mentor. I'll ship back the Hippolytas though. Okay, and another Chaselon. All right, so if they answer that, this will probably be a little tougher. I mean, they've got Superman to punch some of our recruits for free. And then Green Arrow to just really hold down the board presence. So, dang, they got their card. Unfortunate. So here, okay, another Hal Jordan. Interesting where he chooses. I mean, if they got a way to kill Chaselon, it sucks, but I think I just got to run it out there. I could go Mentor, then Chaselon, and try and hit, but I don't think I want to play too conservatively with it. Okay. Okay, nothing. Wow. All right. That's good. Well, so we can get a lantern here, but I think it's probably better to just get one with Fitting Mentor. Or we could get Steve. That's okay. Speaking of Steve, is there like a ricochet arrow that can kill these? There honestly might be, so it's probably not really worth protecting here. Alright, let's just go here. And then pass turn. We could do a lot of things differently there. I could just try and stack, but I don't like stacking things together when they have a green arrow. Even though it's got the shield. I mean, this is probably just going to die off one of the bronze or silver arrows. So just probably got to let it go. But we can still go chase Lon into Jon Stewart. Got a lot of lanterns to give here. Yep. So that's one there, and then I guess they get to take the aura off of Norwal, which is annoying. Oh. Okay. Or trade there. That makes sense. Alright, so this is a Superman turn. So, what do we want to do? Alright, I think I want to ring chooses first. See what we hit. Okay, there's Kilowog, which would be kind of nice for everyone. I feel like this is also huge. So we can go, as much as I want to save this to clear, I think we should just get pretty big here. Yep, get the free payment. And I'm going to rush down Green Arrow. I think, honestly, the ability to clear the board off this thing is one of the scarier things that it can do. Kilowog, I imagine, will die to Superman activation plus something. Because they think they got an arrow off of Speedy that we didn't see yet. But we buffed everything else. I mean, now we can even potentially just curve out with like double Jon Stewart next turn if Chaselon's still alive. On our way to a pretty big Howl, which might be hard for them to deal with unless they have like a rest. So, kind of like our spot here. Not really sure what this kind of list runs exactly, but I imagine it's just like some good Might recruits and then, you know, just good Green Arrow stuff. I don't love that. Chaselon is not going to survive, yeah, because of the repeating arrow. Shoot. Alright, well. Also got Superman activation next turn, which I don't love. Okay, but they can't clear the Kilowog. That's actually... This is 7, 8, 9, because we can kill with Jon Stewart. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the play. I don't think there's any reason to play Jessica Cruz here. And we definitely have to answer Robin. There's no question about that. So, let's get it done. Get Robin off the board. And although probably most of our board will be dead next turn, we've got Aquaman activation coming up. We've got Hal or Wonder Woman. So, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot to swing back afterwards, but they have double leader activation, which means that most of this stuff should be dead. But pretty nice that we answer Robin. We make it so Kilowog, you know, got a huge attack in. So hopefully we can figure it out from there. Arrow for every occasion, don't you, buddy? Yeah. Let's see. Imagine this is going at John. Yeah. Okay. We do have lethal on Green Arrow from the second Jon Stewart, so It's good that we've kind of got the game state there. Ooh. Don't love seeing Blue Beetle plus gold turn. Yep. Dang. Yeah, Superman is a good one. That is a bit of a problem. But let's see what we can do. Oh, well, Queen is actually super nice. Okay. So maybe it's just going to be Queen, Wonder Woman, depending. Okay, so we can go, or actually, no, because we can't play Hal with the activation. Alright, so let's get the shield off. Let's activate. And then let's play Queen. Kill Superman. And then Wonder Woman is lethal if we replace it, but I don't think we can do that. So he's already basically dead. Although we didn't see the gadget that Bluebird has. I really want to maximize our damage here. I don't want to attack here. So I think let's hit here. Let's play Wonder Woman. Buffs all of our stuff, except for our leader. And I will say buffing leader with Wonder Woman is pretty great. So they might have double activation here, which would suck. But this gives us a pretty good board. On the next turn we can go... We could even play Hal regularly if we need to, and then John Stewart. So... pretty big turn for them, but we had a pretty nice one ourselves. And we've got 3 targets with Aura, so that helps against Green Arrow. Or Green Arrow, yeah. Green Lanterns, Green Arrows, too many green things. And I think Hal has a leg up because he's actually green, and Green Arrow is technically blue. Okay, that's good. It sucks to lose that, but I would rather Blue Beetle be traded there than get the double activation. So maybe they don't have any gold in their hand? Should be kind of surprising by this point in the game. But... okay. Lois in the back. Power Girl. Okay, so they get to charge. Alright, so that's Wonder Woman gone. But... still got quite a lot of fighting power here. Yeah, not a bad turn for them. But obviously, Green Arrow is dead. After that, we'll probably have to trade with Power Girl. Yeah, so we're definitely activating. As much as I want a big Hal, I think the best turn is to play these two. So, yeah, so let's go. No, I want to trade there. So let's go here. We'll take off the shields. Or no, we should just go 4 here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You can tell it's some early games in the day when your brain doesn't really function. All right, so let's go John Stewart middle. Take off the shields. And then I am going to kill Lois here. As much as I would like to pressure, this is going to give them too much value. And then I could just play a Simon or Jessica Cruz, and then go Hal next turn. Because Hal's going to be really hard for them to deal with, I think. Yeah. We don't get to activate, but gets us still add a body to the board. We've still got some decent board presence. And, I'm sort of choosing to put a recruit over on this side versus Green Lantern, like Hal Jordan, just because this charge is coming up sooner. So that's kind of how I evaluate. I probably could have put John Stewart here instead. I was kind of like not thinking about how that was going to change. Okay, another Blue Beetle. Scary. Mr. Miracle. That is annoying. But definitely not the end of the world. So. Okay, Chip. Not really a top deck that we want. Yeah, so I think we're just going to trade here. Get the evasion off, and then I think we just play our big Hal. Can they clear it though? So this is, hold on. So this is going to be 12/12. Got 5 plus 7. That is 12. Could save it for next turn. You could just play Chip to block, honestly, instead of Simon. Yeah. It's honestly probably correct. Okay, and Hal got Aura, so that's pretty good. I'm going to punch here because we've got Aquaman activation. And also Queen's got Aura, so just trying to set up us being able to kill Mr. Miracle easily. I just think if we run out our Hal into Superman, it's not great. So, okay. Got Aquaman activation. We've got Hal Jordan next turn. That should hopefully push us pretty close to victory. Robin, yep. Not a bad one. And Green Arrow. Okay. Sure. Can live with that. Are we Supermaning? Seem like they're thinking about it. I think you are, right? I mean, there's no reason to give me another recruit that can kill your Robin. So probably put Hal here and then hope that we get the Aquaman sea creature to spawn in front, because I think we'll just trade Jessica into Green Arrow. But if they don't want to attack here, then I'll Jessica here and trade Queen, because that would be incredible for us to get Robin off the board. I wonder what they're thinking about here. I mean, this is a clear way for me to get Robin off the board, so I feel like you do want to activate Superman. I hope they didn't disconnect. Oh, that's unfortunate. Or maybe intentional, but you never know. Maybe we can play Yar for free this turn. That would be nice. All right, so let's get this off because we can trade here anyway. Let's play. So Hal makes this bronze, and then I don't think there's a way for us to do this, unfortunately. So let's play Hal first. We know we're going to play it. It's huge. Also, Simon now becomes rather large. Straight here. And then I can't quite play the free R here because it just doesn't work out that way. But that is okay. Because here's hoping a Hal that's a 14/14 with Aura is enough to live here. Got Shark 2, which is obviously a pretty solid threat. at 7-6. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize Hal's in this picture. Nice. And then Aquaman, I guess, is right here. Nice. They're teaming up. Just like this deck. Heck yeah. Love it. Dang it. It feels like our opponent disconnected or something. That's unfortunate. Because they were playing out their turns fairly sort of like regularly, and then these last two turns have been like super slow. Yeah, so I think if we turn back the clock, Robin is still here, right? If they make what I think is the optimal play, I don't know what's in their hand, obviously. We still have a Robin, and then we would trade for whatchamacallit, and we'd have these two and Robin without evasion. I guess that's what the board state would be. Yep. Okay. Do we have an answer for this? I mean, that would be pretty good. We're still able to fill our board next turn, but being able to clear Hal would obviously be excellent. Okay, Electric Arrow, 4/2/2. Okay. Titanium Repeating Arrow. Oh, so they do get to kill Hal here, right? No, they didn't have enough time. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. That really sucks. Okay. So we wouldn't have had Hal, and then we'd probably go Simon into Yara or something. All right. Well, had a non-game into a game, definitely, that then kind of turned into not a game. So video's probably long enough there. I'll probably call it. But yeah, so just to talk about the deck for a bit, because, I feel like this is a deck that not many people are playing. And, and I get why, right? Like, we've got some of these, like, hyper-control strategies with Tyranny that are really hard to fight through for mid-range. You've got some of the hyper-aggressive strategies that have gotten better and better. And so where does that leave a mid-range deck? And really, where does that leave Hal Jordan? But I honestly really like the early game package with this deck. I think you're really insulated against aggro pretty well. And then you just have some of these crazy turns with Yara and some of your gold recruits where you can really just push. And like Kilowog is usually massive. John Stewart can just like close out, against the leader. Not really out of nowhere, because obviously they assume it's in the deck, but, in a way that's really hard for them to play against. Sometimes you get the high roll Somarley turn 1. You get the high roll with Chaselon, which hasn't changed. But I feel like a Fitting Mentor has actually been really excellent in the deck, and I feel like the deck is getting closer and closer to having enough card advantage to have enough staying power to fight through, especially the control decks and the Batman decks. So if you're interested in either of these leaders, or you've just been kind of dying to play something that is maybe a little off meta, but I really will tell. I think I probably had 15-ish wins with this deck last night out of 20, maybe 25 games. We were definitely positive for sure in World First. So yeah, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you later.